Over to you.
Okay, so my advertisement idea is a Nikon D3200. The reason being is because I've got one and I haven't got any other cameras, so I thought about using that. The plan is to like try and get something quite powerful because Nikon have always made their machines look quite powerful in aspects of like the specs, but without actually going through like details of text. So I want to try and also like watch another video which was shown in a minute, which showed like human eyes. So I'm trying to have like an idea of having how cameras came from the idea of like how the eyes work, and then painting the camera, and then cameras came around. So that's like the type of plan I'm after. The style, I had like two styles. I was about going for like a futuristic, like Matrix things, like having, like comparing both. So like saying the human eye is the camera and the camera is the eye, type thing. But also going for like a classic, like cinematography based one. So it's like all like it looks like a film, but actually just shows the camera being used without it just looking like a normal advert, so it's a different style altogether. The audience is like for Nikon users, because Nikon users always want the latest Nikon body or lenses, but I'm just aiming towards the camera itself with what it comes with. And it's after people who are high tech, who want like high advanced like cameras, and also people who want something that's not high performance. And it's to adverts, so most people see the eyes one, haven't they? Yeah. So most people see the eyes one, and I want to like combine this unofficial one I found on the internet. That one's about 30 seconds, so it's like quick and straight to the point. But also saying it's like it's a serious piece of kit, which it's like aimed more towards the professionals, but I've seen a few adverts being like more user friendly. So it's like saying these cameras are like for everybody, but this one was more my style of what I want to get, because it shows it's not just for everyone, it's also for professionals as well to use for anything. So I want to combine having the eyes with this one in like a two-way type of style. And that's it. Feedback.
Any questions for Adam, please?
Yeah. How are you gonna go with it? Like, are you gonna go towards that eye, more towards the eye, or?
Yeah, instead of actually showing the camera itself, I'm about having like the eye, because I thought about starting off with like a closed eye, then like some like voiceover, and then the eye opens up and the camera like comes out.
Yeah.
And then like holding the camera and then like walking around taking pictures. And then when you take a picture, you have like a still image of what that looks like on the camera.
So how do you keep connecting? I totally get what you're saying about the still image of what they're photographing. But how do you then bring that back to the eye? Because you were there saying that the eye is the camera and the camera is the eye.
Yeah,
How do you make that connection?
Yeah, so I'm on about having like a voiceover, like saying we never used to able to like view the world and show people until now. So it's like saying we got technology now you can share it with people to show what you see than people guessing what you see.
Yep. Okay.
So how are you gonna like mix the two? Because like, would you have like? Because I would expected you to have like, you know, when someone's taking a picture, you know, in the reflection of the eye, have the reflection in the eye of what they're taking a picture of, and then when it hits the shutter, it like it'll blink or something, it'll switch to the same reflection but in the end edge of the lens. Or something. Would you just?
That's going to be really, really hard to do. I mean, that blink of the eye advert, which Alan didn't show, because most of us have seen it, it's really good. But also the reflections which are in those eyes. It's worth watching it. Should we watch it?
Yeah.
If you watch it through, then you'll notice that most of the time you're seeing something reflected in the eye where the camera person should be. So that's all been done.
There are over 7
It's all
billion people on our planet. That's 7 billion of us, all looking at the world in our own way. And no one sees it like you. What do you see? Is it adventure? Danger? Is it passion? Or tradition? Beauty? A new beginning? Or ending? Celebration? Is it trust? Fame? Is it freedom? Home? Is it potential? No one sees it like you.
So every one of those eyes has been kind of very, very carefully filmed so as to not get the reflection of the cinematographer or the camera operator and the camera. And then the reflection the eye is supposed to be seeing has been digitally superimposed on a separate video layer. That's exceptionally hard to do. So I think with your idea, although it's a strong idea, I think you need to be very, very cautious about this very close-up macro photography that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because firstly, the lens is going to need to be able to get that close to the eye. Secondly, it's going to need to be able to get that close without catching you in it. And thirdly, you've then got to create a reflection to superimpose on the space of the eye. And I personally feel that's a very, very big ask for anybody. But that kind of advert costs hundreds of thousands of pounds to make. And obviously we just don't have that kind of scope of that kind of equipment. But I do think you're onto something in terms of people using the camera as an extension of themselves and how they see the world. And I think with a little bit more development, you could potentially make your idea work very, very strongly to reflect that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Has anyone else got any ideas for any feedback?
Yeah, for reflection, what you could do is you can invite into Premiere, do a 5-point masking on some footage, and then you crop it down into the area, and you do a motion trap on certain areas of the image. You do to keep it as smooth as possible, and then you drop the opacity of the added image. Then you create another layer, and you add like a grey tone to it because you want to have half the same colour to whatever you want to add. You merge the two layers together, and then you'll have like the reflection coming on. And when the eye blinks, what you do is you add to the smudge tools to the one with your finger on the top, bottom, and corners. Then you drag it down for each keyframe when the eye blinks.
Although that's absolutely valid as a technique, there are a couple of things that don't quite gel with that. It's still a vast amount of work for what we're talking about, where it is fundamentally going to be difficult to get right. And what's the point in doing it if it's going to look wrong? And I do think that's fundamentally taking away from the fact that every time you make an advert, you're trying to tell a story. It's a story which sells a product. And yes, you know what, if you were to spend weeks and weeks, you could probably get a couple of shots absolutely bang on just using After Effects and Premiere. But I do feel very, very strongly that that's not necessarily the right way to go. And I think that if you look at the inherent idea of trying to make the camera be somebody's vision of the world, that's strong. And there's something in there that works. I think the actual mechanics of duplicating those techniques, although they are feasible, are very, very difficult to do convincingly. And I question whether that's worth undertaking, to be honest. Okay, anything else? Thank you, Adam.